going on, everyone? My name is Dan Davis. Today we're checking out the Mini 4K. I don't have it in my hands. This is actually the Mini 2 SE, but these are my first impressions of DJI's almost like a stealthy release. It kind of just snuck in, and it looks like it's pretty much replacing the DJI Mini 2. If you're new around here, my name is Dan Davis. I'm the creative director on DansTube.TV, which is Australia's #1 ranked drone YouTube channel. I'm also the course creator over on the Fearless Drone Academy, which is the ultimate online drone course for beginners. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. I definitely want to do more live streams. Thank you, everyone in the chat. What's up, everyone? I see you all jumping in. Appreciate it. So yeah, today we're discussing the DJI Mini 4K. And for whatever reason, this isn't available in Australia, which is where I'm based. If you're new to the channel or didn't know, I'm based in Brisbane, Australia. And DJI have kind of re-released this same model of drone now for a few years. So the Mini 2 SE was kind of like a re-released Mini 2 without 4K, right? And then the Mini 2, which everyone still loves to this day, is kind of discontinued. We obviously have had the Mini 3, Mini 3 Pro, we've had the Mini 4 Pro, and then a sneaky little release, the DJI Mini 4K. But from what I can see, and that's what this video is all about, but from what I can see, it's pretty much the exact same drone as the Mini 2. And even when we look at the Mini 2 SE, this is pretty much identical to both the Mini 4K and the Mini 2. The only difference is that software has dumbed it down so that it doesn't offer 4K. So it is a little bit of an odd release here, but it is extremely cheap. So in Australian dollars, it's 450 Australian dollars. I think it works out to be maybe 299, something like that in the US, but I'm based in Australia. So $450 is unbelievably cheap. And that gets you both the Mini 4K and the controller, the RCN1. So a great offering, really. When you put it down on paper, you're getting quite a lot here. So let's look into it and see what exactly is the Mini 4K. Like, what is it? What does it offer? Why should you care about it? Let's just quickly look. So the Mini 2 SE here, it doesn't even give us the price on Amazon. But for whatever reason, I can only seem to find the Mini 4K on Amazon. It's not available on DJI's website. Even when I go to the American version of their website, it just doesn't seem to be available for whatever reason. So it's obviously a slow trickle release. There have been other content creators, other drone YouTubers that have done full videos who have access to the drone. But let's just have a little look here and see what it has to offer. So as we scroll down, we can see it's got the same sensor, the 1/2.3-inch sensor. It's the exact same sensor as both the Mini 2 and the Mini 2 SE. It's got that 10-kilometer range, which if we look at the Mini 2 here, so this is the Mini 2, you can see pretty much identical in terms of design. We can look at the Mini 2 SE, same in design. So it's pretty much identical from what I can see in terms of the build quality, the materials used, the chassis, the camera's even the same. It's just the fact that they've dumbed down the software on the Mini 2 SE to not give us the 4K. So that's pretty much the only difference here. It still does have the same 31-minute flight time, same wind resistance. It really does look like just a rebranded Mini 2. So let's just look into it a little bit more. So again, this is the Mini 4K here, and this is clearly going to it's a rebranded Mini 2. It's going to replace the Mini 2. So I guess the product offering would now be Mini 4K. And then I don't know if the Mini 3 is going to stay around for much longer, but I guess it would go Mini 4K, then it would go Mini 3, Mini 3 Pro, and Mini 4 Pro. Don't know how long the Mini 3 range is going to stay around for, but the Mini 4K is a great beginner-friendly offering. At that price point, 450 Australian dollars, to get yourself a 4K drone and a really good controller that has 10 kilometers of range. I mean, it's unheard of, really, at that price point. It's a great offering. And that's why I guess this is an exciting drone. Everything else is very similar, but it's that price point that makes this really interesting. And it's probably because they've been able to re-release the drone so many times that the factories have just been pumping out the same body, the same chassis, so many times that it's at the point where we can just get something a little cheaper that's pretty much the same offering. So here we go. We've got 10 kilometers HD video transmission. So it's using the OcuSync 2, from my understanding, 10 kilometers of range. This is a well-established controller now, the RCN1, a great controller, something that a lot of us love and seem to still use all the time. It comes down to 4K 30 FPS. So like I said, the Mini 2 SE does not offer 4K, but the Mini 4K, DJI Mini 4K, offers 4K up to 30 frames per second, UHD, Ultra HD videos, and it's that 1/2.3-inch sensor. So again, same sensor across the board from the Mini 2 to even the Mini SE, right? So it's Mini 2, Mini SE, Mini 2 SE, and now the Mini 4K. Exactly the same sensor, pretty much the exact same drone here. This one's an interesting one to me. So it does say 31 minutes of flight time. So it would be using the same battery system here. They have been interchangeable from my understanding with all the previous offerings that we've had. I've been able to swap out the batteries from the Mini 2, Mini 2 SE, the Mini SE. They've all been interchangeable. But this is very interesting here. It says or 62 minutes or 93 minutes. So yeah, does that mean that we've got 3 different batteries? I mean, we'll have to look into it a little bit more, but it looks like they're stating 93 minutes of flight time, which is unheard of, is the best flight time, if that's true, of a mini drone, of any drone from DJI, really, in the consumer space. So various beginner tutorials, auto return to home, all the same things. It has the exact same vision positioning sensors under here, which lets it know when it's getting too close to the ground so it doesn't automatically land and hit something. So it's still got the same thing. Still got the 3-axis gimbal. Again, the same camera system, the same gimbal. Everything's the same here as the Mini 2 SE, just that it offers 4K on the Mini 4K. It's the same foldable body, 249 grams, so it's under 250 grams, great for people in countries where rules and regulations are extremely strict. Boost your inspiration with quick shots. So same quick shot offering and a bunch of other stuff there. So let's have a look a little bit further here. So it weighs less than an iPhone 14 Pro Max, which is nice. That is very nice. 4K Ultra HD, so it's still got the 12 megapixel sensor. It's 12 megapixel stills. Again, same across the board of all those mini drones I mentioned from DJI. 4K 30 FPS, so no new offering here. We aren't getting any new exciting offerings. It's the same offering. 3-axis gimbal, again, same offering. Here, they're really trying to push the fact that theirs is better than the competition. So they're saying 10 kilometers of range compared to other brands that give you 6 kilometers of range. Realistically, you have to stay in line of sight anyway. So, I mean, it's a little bit of a extreme example, the 10 kilometers, like amazing that they can state that. But I mean, realistically, you should only be flying like 600 meters anyway. Keep it in line of sight, right? But that is great because if you're in a dense populated area, there's a lot of signals. So to have that buffering effect of the 10 kilometers does mean a lot. You are going to have consistent range across the board. This is the one I'm really curious about here. So that's what they're saying. So that's what they're saying. I was thinking there was offering a 93-minute battery, but they're pretty much just saying you can get 3 batteries. So 3 31-minute batteries gives you 93 minutes. Okay, so it's still the exact same offering, just like marketed in a way to make it look like a 93-minute battery. Or maybe I just missed something there. Maybe I'm just too gullible. But still the same flight time, 31 minutes of flight time. Still the same offerings here. 2 batteries give you 62 minutes. 3 batteries give you 93 minutes. So realistically, they say 31 minutes. Let's say anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes is what you're actually getting. Again, you've got to fly the drone back, land the drone, make sure that it's not like 31 minutes would be the drone just collapsing out of the sky. So you want to bring the drone back at about 30%, fly it locally, and then if you are risking it, go to 20% and then land. So I normally do that, fly to 30%, bring it back nice and close for about 10% of the battery, fly really close to me, and then I just land the drone at that point at 20%. So you're getting about 25 minutes per battery. It's over an hour of flight time with 3 batteries. That's still a phenomenal offering. When we look at wind resistance, it's the same wind resistance again because it is the same drone, literally, but it's a level 5 wind resistance, so the same wind resistance as all of the recent DJI drones, all the mini drones that I mentioned before. So the Mini SE, Mini 2 SE, and Mini 2, they all have that level 5 wind resistance. So that's great. You know, that's a great standard to have. Stable hovering. So again, this is targeted. Like when you think about who this is for, like why would you consider something like a Mini 4K? if you have another drone, let's say you've got like a Mavic 3 or you've got an Air 3, you've got a larger drone and you want something smaller to get in those tight gaps, maybe to fly indoors with some prop guards on, just the tight gap situation, like a small portable travel drone, this is the one to look into, right? This is why you would get something like this. But also phenomenal for a beginner, phenomenal for someone who has never flown, who wants to get into the space. You get great wind resistance. It hovers. It's got great video quality, great flight time. That's where you would care and consider getting a Mini 4K. So what do we got in the comments? Does it have the same firmware as the Mini 2? That's a great question by AmmoCat1. I actually have no idea. I have no idea if it's got the same firmware. That would be very interesting. If anyone can answer that, let us know in the comments. I would love to know. Skystep drones is a great drone for new pilots. That's exactly what I was just saying. You're 100% bang on. This is the drone for beginners. For a lot of new pilots, this is the one to look into. AmmoCat again. So I have a Mini 2 and live in a no-fly zone. I've got it hacked so it doesn't auto-land. The 4K is nice because now there will be more accessories, batteries made. Yeah, because it is a standardized chassis and body. So all of the accessories will be interchangeable across the board, right? With the Mini SE, the Mini 2, Mini 2 SE, and the Mini 4K. All four of them have the exact same identical body, same measurements from my understanding. So you can use all of those interchangeably, which is phenomenal. Good morning, GTV Galley. Hello, everyone else. Appreciate you all dropping in. So let's just keep going through this. We've got a few more things to look through. I'm going to look through the specs, if I can see them on Amazon, and we'll just look into it a little bit deeper, see if there's anything that we've missed here. But same thing that you would imagine and expect at this point. So you got the tap to take off. So one tap, or you like press and hold it, takes off, and then you can land with one tap as well. Smart return to home, low battery return to home, and fail-safe return to home. So it's got all those safety things that maybe we take for granted at this point, but keeping all of those awesome safety features in a relatively cheap offering, one of their cheapest offerings, is great. I would really love to see a redesigned mini drone, like that cheap mini drone. Obviously, the Mini 4 Pro and the Mini 3, they had a different design, right? A different body. The Mini 4 Pro is drastically different to the Mini 2, Mini 2 SE, and all that. So something in this budget-friendly range would be phenomenal. I'd even be keen to see something even cheaper, like a 1080p exclusive drone. That's something that's really, really cheap, but has all of these features. I think that would sell really well. So we've got all the intelligent flight modes. It's, again, the same across the board. No new offering here. Helix, Rocket, Boomerang, Droney, Circle, and Pano. We've got the one-tap editing, and then we've got some instructional videos. So these are all the different modes here, Helix, all that kind of stuff. You guys would have seen all of that. And then here's a little bit of the comparison here. So this is across the board, comparing the Mini 4K to the Mini 2 SE, Mini 3, and Mini 4 Pro. So in terms of price, phenomenal pricing. From what I could see, actually, because it's got 3,000 reviews, it's like they've almost bundled it into the same offering as the Mini 2 SE. So it's kind of in that same, so it looks like an established drone already, right? Because it's like you can click to choose between the different offerings. So it's already got an established rating of nearly 4,000 high ratings here. Under 250 grams, you can see same flight time. So let's just compare it with the Mini 2 SE, because obviously the Mini 3, Mini 4 Pro are a bit more expensive and a bit more, I guess, pro level, let's call it. But you can see exact same sensor as the Mini 2 SE. The Mini 2 SE 2.7K, where you got 4K on this, but again, it's the exact same sensor. Both using OcuSync 2, got 10 kilometers of range with a live view feed of 720p, 30 frames per second. Downward obstacle sensing, which is the vision positioning sensors that I mentioned just down here. So they will actually stop the drone from landing. You have to like really hold down the stick, like on the stick, hold it right down, keep holding to commit to landing. So that's a nice safety feature. And then you can see everything else is the same here. So again, the only difference is the fact that it's 4K, which is the same as the Mini 2, right? The Mini 2, the only difference was that it was 4K over the Mini 2 SE. So bizarre to me, but I guess it makes sense in that context if they're rebranding a drone. Let's just see if there's anything else we can find here. I don't think there's specs for some reason on Amazon. Doesn't look like it. Anything here that we've missed? I don't think so. So let me just stop sharing the screen. Yeah, so let me know if you got any questions. I really hope that I'll get a chance to get one of these. I was even considering buying one just to show you guys what it has to offer. But again, like you could pretty much just film on any of the other drones, the Mini 2, the Mini 2 SE, the Mini SE, and then post it, and it would look very similar. Like, yes, the Mini 2 is the one with the 4K, but I mean, it looks very similar across the board. Even the 2.7K, if you compare them side by side, it's not a huge jump because, again, it is the same sensor. Different story if it's a completely different sensor, different color science, all that kind of stuff. But fundamentally, it's the same sensor as the Mini 2 SE. It's just a software limitation that doesn't allow you to get 4K on this drone. But it's the same drone, same body, same offering. Everything's very, very similar. Let's see if we've got any other questions here. What is from Rudra Banerjee? What's its maximum height? Is it the same as the Mini 2? So that's a tough question because maximum height is 120 meters legally. And that's the answer. So they all have 120 meters max height, basically. I mean, some of them, I think all of them you can change. I've never done it myself, but you can go in and change the max height. It will give you a warning to say that it's illegal, basically, but it still lets you do it. So just, yeah, do it with your own discretion, I guess. But the max height is 120 meters. Maximum height of Mini 4K. Yep, same question. So it's 120 meters legally. That's as high as you can go legally, 120 meters. Any other questions from anyone? Any other insights from anyone in the comments? Just before we wrap up this stream. Yeah, no worries. Thank you for watching, mate. I think that pretty much covers it. Like, it's really the same offering, just with a different name. It's a true rebrand. It's literally like, you might as well just imagine that they've just kind of got the Mini 2, scratched off Mini 2, or even just scratched off 2 and then put in 4K. And that's it. That's the only difference. So it's cheaper. That's a huge calling card for a lot of people. If you don't have a mini drone, huge calling card. But if you want something new and exciting, this isn't the one. This is not the one for you. Great starting point for a lot of people. Great drone to complement your more expensive drone. But that's kind of it. It's a little overrated. And it really is just a pure rebrand. But still, something pretty cool. Yeah, like you said, Rudra, we've got the main difference is the price. Yeah, that's right. Missed the LED. Yeah, true. Okay, that's a good point, actually. There was an LED above the Mini 2's camera, like above here. There was an LED, and you could actually change the color of the LED. Complete gimmick, novelty, does literally nothing for functionality. But that was actually a good point. I forgot about that. It did have an LED on the Mini 2. So that's the only other difference. There was an LED, and that's it, the price as well. Anyway, that's kind of it, guys. That's really all there is to the Mini 4K. I appreciate all the support. I will have some more videos coming to the channel very soon. Hopefully, I'll get a Mini 4K video up for you very soon and maybe do some comparisons just to show you that they are very similar. But besides that, that's kind of it for the Mini 4K. Another exciting random release from DJI. And they just don't stop. Just keeps coming. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everyone. Appreciate all of your support. And I'll chat to you in the next one. Peace.